Okay, the recording has started.
Mataji, recording is started. I don't know, live is getting failed. I'll be trying it, Mataji. We'll be breaking the room. We'll be checking, okay, Mataji?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Ashutosh is joined. Which device I need to make the... Mataji, Sitapriti Mataji, are you there on the call?
No, I'm here. My name is Ashutosh BS.
Okay, so your mom is going to handle that?
She's at the grocery right now. She has a grocery shop right now.
Okay, okay. So I am making you the co-host. You can help. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So Mataji, now I'll open the break room.
Mataji, do you want me to try Facebook?
Yeah, Mataji. Let me open the room and then you take the co-host, Mataji. Let me open the room. Shall I open the room?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
No, Indu Mataji took the host, Mataji.
Okay. Not.
Sorry, Mataji, it's just 1 minute. Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, break room, Mataji.
Okay. Vanita Mataji, live is not working.
Yeah, live is not working. I will open the break room, Mataji.
Okay.
Mataji, I just checked on YouTube. It says waiting for Bhakti Sanghas.
Yes, there is some problem, yes. Now we have opened the room. Mataji, you can start, Mataji. Kids will go there.
Okay. So maybe we can start. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkripa Tamaham Vande Sri Gurum Dinatarinam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Mate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Desha Shunyavadi Pastatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So today we are seeing almost we have come to the end of the summer camp, 3 weeks more, and we are going to see, as it is mentioned in the slide, a spiritual science called mantra meditation. So we started off this with stories from Mahabharata, learning values. Then we saw about the 5 major topics in the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavan, about God, who God is, what are his attributes, can anyone be called God? Is God the creator of everything? Who's the creator of God? Is he male or female? And so many science about God. That's called Ishvara. Next we saw about Jiva, or about ourselves, the soul. So what is the nature of the soul? does the soul die? And I mean, if the soul is if the soul is not affected, then why are we experiencing happiness and distress? Are we the soul, or are we the body and we have a soul inside? So many signs about the soul, that is Jiva, we discussed. That's the second topic that is Krishna discusses in the Bhagavad Gita. In fact, he discusses that in the beginning only. But the whole of Bhagavad Gita, these 5 topics come interchangeably, and there are connections between them. So then we saw about Bhagavan, Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, about the creation and the annihilation, about the modes of material nature, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, goodness, passion and ignorance, and how we are always in that net of goodness, passion and ignorance, and how we have to climb up or transcend these modes. Then we saw about karma or activities. So what are actions, and do really all the actions are monitored? In this life I'm so good, but why bad things are happening to me? It looks like, God is sometimes merciful and sometimes merciless. So people who are doing bad, they seem to be enjoying. So the science about activities, karma, we learned about karma, vikarma, good activities that produce good results, forbidden activities that produce miserable results or suffering, and then the art of performing activities that produce no results, that is akarma. Then we learned about kala, or the time factor, and what is from the calculation of the time, from a very minute quantity to the quantity of the Brahma's lifetime, and how different yugas are there, and how they are divided, and where are we now, and how to what is kala, what is it's the energy of the Lord, and how we are controlled by time factor. So with all these different aspects of Bhagavad Gita, the knowledge of it, what are we supposed to do ultimately, practically? So now we will see about mantra meditation. So what is a mantra? Everybody must have known about it. Mantra is a Sanskrit word made of 2 words, man and tra. So mananat trayate iti mantraha. The word mantra comes from the ancient Sanskrit language. So, the oldest language whose dates cannot be found out is a Sanskrit language. Sanskrit means Samskritam. Samskritam means perfectly done. So that language has no faults at all. Perfect grammar, everything is perfect, and it's not easy to learn that. It's a Deva Bhasha. It is since it's a perfect language, it is spoken by perfect beings. So in that, man means mind, and tra means which releases or delivers. So mantra is a combination of transcendental sounds meant to release the mind from all anxieties of material life. Not that we can produce a mantra on our own. Like Srila Prabhupada gives this example, when I am thirsty, if I'm calling water, 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 my thirst will not be quenched, right? Because the word water and the substance water is different. In fact, my throat will be parched more. But then a transcendental sound is not like that. What do you mean by transcendental sound? Transcendental sound means that sound which is beyond the modes of material nature, which is beyond the control of time, which is beyond the control of karma, action and reaction, and which is absolute. Means the sound and what the sound indicates are the same. You get the same effect. So that's why it's called transcendental sound. We cannot manufacture a mantra. There are different mantras, that different sound vibrations that are coined by ancient sages who are spiritual scientists, who are not sentimentalists, but who are very intelligent spiritual beings. So who are spiritual scientists, and so they have coined these mantras, and they are time tested. So this is a highly effective way to calling out God. Why? Because God and his name is non-different. God and his body is not different. Krishna and his body, Krishna and his mind, Krishna and his intelligence, everything is absolute, is completely spiritual. So same way Krishna and his name is also non-different, because Krishna is non-different from the clothes that he wears or the food that he eats. So the food is also Krishna in the form of prasadam. The cloth is also called Mahaprasadam. We read about how we handle these things with the utmost respect, as though they are Krishna. So that's why the Abhishekam, the water that you pour on the deity of the Lord, is non-different from the Lord, and that has the potency to cure all the diseases. Akala mrityu haranam sarva vyadhi nivaranam samasta papa ksharam. It will relieve us from all sins. Why? All this is because Krishna is absolute. There is no difference between he and his name. So when you call water, 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 your thirst will not be quenched. But when you call Krishna, 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 it's as good as meeting Krishna. But because our senses and mind are clouded and covered, we don't realize that. So it is an effective means to calling out God. And also the mantra is an effective means to control the mind. It disciplines the mind and empowers the mind. You know, for that, the mind is guided by the sound vibration. You are putting the mind in the sound. So the sound takes the mind out of this world. It transcends. So that's how the mantra works. So let's see what are these mind and what are these senses. First, let's understand where the mind is situated in the body. Then we will know how we can, why to do meditation. What is meditation? Because mind is something that the science, the medical science of now, as of now, has some knowledge about, but not as much as the medical science knows about different parts of the body, but not about the mind. It's very less. So why? Because mind cannot be perceived like this hand. If you ask me where my hand or where my finger is, I can touch it and I can feel it. But if you ask me, do you all have a mind first of all? Parth, do you have a mind?
Material mind, yes.
Okay, so everybody knows that, you know, we think in the mind. We have the mind, although we cannot perceive the mind. We think about we know, we think with what we think. We don't think with the head. We don't think with the hand or heart. We think with the mind. So let's see. Krishna very nicely explains this whole body in the form of a chariot. So the chariot means a ratha. Today is a Rath Yatra of Lord Jagannath. So this is another chariot. So this is, there are 5 horses. The 5 horses are compared to the senses. So this is a horse of seeing, and the sense object is sight. Or let's put it simply: sight, hearing, taste, touch, and smell. These are the different kinds of sense perceptions. And there are different organs that are associated with the sense perception. Like, for example, eyes. With the eyes we see, with the ears we hear, with the tongue we taste, with the skin we touch, and with the nose we smell. So these 5 senses are the 5 horses. And for a chariot to run, the horses all have to be connected together and controlled together by means of reins. So this reins is the mind. You see, mind is what is directly connected to the senses. So, and where is the intelligence? The charioteer is the intelligence or the buddhi. Mind is manaha and charioteer is the buddhi. And the person who is traveling, he is the soul. So the whole chariot is compared to the body, and Krishna is in the heart of the passenger who is a soul. He is a super soul. So once again I'll repeat. So the 5 senses are compared to the 5 horses. And the 5 horses are regulated to run properly by means of the reins. That reins is compared to the mind. And then the charioteer, who's controlling the reins, who decides whether this way to go or that way to go. So that is the intelligence. And the passenger of this chariot, he's the soul or ourselves. And Krishna is a super soul who is within the heart of the passenger or the soul. So you see, if the senses are going, if the reins are not able to regulate the senses, then how will all the horses run properly in one direction? For example, the proper hierarchy of control should be, the passenger should tell the charioteer where he wants to go. The charioteer should control the reins, and the horses should be properly controlled and regulated, and they should go in that path. So that is a proper hierarchy of control. But in a material world, what happens is the senses, they go on their own. That's why right now, while you're in the class, you might be thinking of something that happened yesterday, or a TV show you saw yesterday, or what your mom, you had a conversation with your mom in the morning, that would pop up. So that means that the sense and the mind, the sense, for example, if you have seen a TV show, that had gone through it through your eyes. And through the eyes, and that is there in the mind. And the mind, although you're physically sitting in the class and you want to be in the class, through the sense of the sight, the mind is taken away, and you're thinking about the TV show that you saw yesterday. So this is our practical thing. What happens is the senses are uncontrolled and regulated. They go here and there whenever they want. Imagine if there is no discipline in your class, you can come whenever you want, you can go whenever you want. Will we achieve anything? We can't learn anything. That's not how anything works. So right now in the conditioned state, the senses are in complete control. They go wherever they want to. Mind is sometimes pulled through this sense or pulled through that sense. And intellect is supposed to control the mind, but the charioteer is struggling. Where is the mind going? It's going in different directions. Sometimes the intelligence says good, sometimes it is bad. And the passenger is, don't know where we are going. In such a chariot, it will not be, it's sure that you won't reach the destination. So another example to tell you exactly where mind is situated is that we are the soul, and the first covering of us is the subtle body. You see the line, the dotted line, that is called the subtle body. Subtle means not very explicit. It is very difficult to see. With the 5 senses, you cannot perceive it. That is subtle. It is there, it is there, but not directly perceivable. So there are 3 subtle bodies. Subtle body comprises of 3 factors. One is mind, one is intelligence, and one is false ego. Mind, intelligence, and false ego. Mind is like, there is lots of thoughts. Mind always brings out, can I do this, can I do that, this, that, this, that. But then intelligence filters the thoughts. Okay, if I'm going to play throughout for 4 hours in the computer, I might get into trouble. Definitely I will get into trouble. So, but then the intelligence, a good intelligence is, I want to play, but let me put a time limit for myself, and then I can do some constructive activity. I can learn something, or I can, do for my next grade or whatever. But then what the intelligence thinks, okay, my mom will find out if I continuously play for 5 hours. So what I do is, I will cheat her. I will tell her that I'm going to study or do something, some work, and I'm going to learn about some subject for my next grade, and then open another screen for playing. So mind is coming out with so much thoughts, and intelligence is something that like a filter. And false ego means what you think you are. So from there comes desires. From that identity, you decide what to do, what not to do. If it's good intelligence, then you will think, okay, let me play for some time, which is right. This is summer vacation and I have to play, but let me also use at least some amount of my time in productive learning. So that is good intelligence. Okay, but then always, even if you have that intelligence, when you start learning something, that will be your friend pinging, hey, what are you doing? Can we play this game? Then immediately you think, okay, what is the urgency to do any productive learning now? There is no test tomorrow, and anyway we have learned. So immediately you switch. So you see, that is a working of the mind and intelligence and falsehood. It's constantly we are making decisions. And then there is gross body. That is the outer layer of the body, in which we have, it's made up of 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. So when the soul passes away from this body, what it leaves is the gross body. So we leave this body, and anything connected with the body is left behind. Hardly we even remember. So there are so many stories for this, but we are not going into that. So what happens is, when the soul leaves the body, the gross body is left behind, but what comes with the soul is a subtle body. So subtle body is mind, intelligence, and false ego, and mainly the mind. And Krishna says, we saw that, right? Whatever you think of at the time of leaving the body, you will attain that in the next stage. So it's very, very important. Mind is something that is going to come with you. So you see how important it is to cultivate and regulate the mind. If we don't do this, in fact, Manushya, the word Manushya in Sanskrit means a person who has a capacity and responsibility to mold his mind in such a way that he can determine his future. So how to mold the mind? So now we saw where the mind is. It is subtle. So it is like it doesn't occupy time or space. Okay, 2 people have raised their hand. Vaishish, Parth, you wanted to ask something?
Not anymore.
Okay. So the next thing is, so we saw that how we are gross body, we have bodies of 2 types, gross and the subtle, and we are the soul, and the subtle body, mind, intelligence, and false ego comes along with the soul. It doesn't get annihilated with the physical body. So what to do with the mind? So that depends on your ego. Ego is identity. False ego means false identity. So the real ego is, who am I? So I'm not this body. I'm a spiritual being. I'm a part and parcel of God. This we saw in the concept of God. Just like I am a part of a machine. Just like I'm a part of this body. So a part of a machine is meant to cooperate with the machine. A part of the body is meant to cooperate with the body. Similarly, we are part and parcel of God, and we are meant to cooperate with the God. We are meant to serve the Lord. So how to do that? So how do you understand that the soul is present inside the heart? What is the proof? People may ask, what is the proof? The proof is that a person is alive and aware. So a dead person is not alive and not aware, means not conscious. So if a living body has consciousness, that means it has a soul inside. So that soul is part and parcel of supreme consciousness or supreme God. So since the mind travels with the soul, we need to somehow use the mind to link ourselves with the Supreme Lord again. And that is done by meditation. Just like you're tuning into a radio station, like FM radio, right? When you're going in a car, you want to listen to a particular station, then you tune. When you tune, then you catch that frequency, then you hear that FM. So similarly, you tune. This mantra is the tuning kit for you to tune to connect to God, because first of all, he's non-different from the mantra. He's there in the mantra, and then it will work only when we tune to it. When we put our mind in meditation, the mind is we like, for example, the body, every day in the morning, you're supposed to do some physical activity because the body is also made up of joints like nuts and bolts in a machine. If a mechanical machine has to run properly, then you need to do so much oiling and other things. For example, the computer hardware has to be maintained. If it is hot for a long time, it gets heated up and so many things happen. So it requires maintenance. Similarly, body's maintenance is keep it always going, keep it fit, keep it active. And the mind's maintenance is, the mind's nature is to go all over. Body's nature is to sit and relax, but we need to keep the body running. Mind's nature is to go all over. So we need to gather the mind and train ourselves to fix in the meditation so that we can connect to God. If we are not going to do that, then we have to deal with our monster mind. Because the mind has been monstrous throughout the life. At the end of the life also, we want to think about something, but the mind is not going to listen to us. And finally, we end up somewhere else, not where we wanted to go. So we need to plan that journey now only. So how to do that? To connect to God through mantra meditation. That means putting the mind in the mantra. Mantra is a time-tested transcendental sound vibration that is tested by spiritual scientists called the sages in the ancient past, and it has been tested and it has been proven so many times. So we just have to take it and apply it on ourselves, or we should become the experimenter. So let's see how why can't we meditate just without sound on our own? So the point is, the power of the sound waves. There was an experiment that was done that if you do a high-pitched frequency sounds can even result in breaking of a glass. And sonic weapons, ultrasound and supersonic weapons are used to even injure or kill enemies. That much the sound has the power. And on the other side of the sound, a calm music, for example, you're going around in a waterfall music or a music of a violin or a flute or harmonium, something that is calm. What happens? People take to this music therapy to calm the mind, to manage the stress, to improve communication, and to even alleviate the pain. So sound has, according to the science, have been proven. It's a sound technology. How you do it, there is a science behind it, but then it definitely works. So it's not a recent technology. It was there in the ancient past also. So we have seen this result that if you have seen in Mahabharata and Ramayana, Arjuna, when he is fighting, he takes an arrow, and then before he shoots it, he chants the mantra and he empowers the arrow with a sound vibration, and that sound vibration can enable the arrow to do a particular thing. It is a subtle spiritual sound technology. So that's why you see one arrow can multiply into thousands of arrows, and suddenly that arrow, what happens is through sound, he is going to manipulate the elements of nature. So suddenly he will he will chant a mantra that would make the arrow, that would change the composition of the light element, and suddenly it will become so dark. Or it will start to rain so heavily that the enemy can hardly see what's going to happen. So it is nothing but the science technology through sound to manipulate the elements of the nature. So that is when astra becomes shastra, or the weapon becomes astra. So it is not mythology, but it is a science that's a proven science, and you can see time and again. So when one person chants the mantra to invoke the fire element, and when the arrow goes, wherever the arrow goes, it produces fire. That means earth, water, fire, air, ether is there everywhere. But it is a technology how to take the fire element out of the air and multiply it so many times. So suddenly there is a raging fire in the battlefield. Then the opposite party will use the same technology, and they will pull out the water element. and that there will be a thunderous rain and the fire will be put out. So like this way, we have seen that the science of mantras is not new. It's been working before. But let's go through some experiments which was recently done. There is a Japanese scientist, Dr. Masaru Emoto, did water experiments. What he found out that there is a dam called Fujiwara Dam in Japan, and he could picture the molecules of the water in the molecular structure of the water molecules in the water in the dam before prayers were offered. Then he had a prayer session gathering so many people, and they were all chanting some prayers, and after that he had a picture taken after 1 hour of doing prayer in front of the dam, and this was what the molecular structure arrangement was. You can see that how nicely the molecular structure of the water has arranged itself, whereas it is haphazard here. And we know that our body is made up of 70% water. So the molecular structure in water, in turn, when the sound affects the molecular structure in water, which in turn affects the thoughts and consciousness of the person who are affected by the sound. Anybody has any question to ask? You've raised hands, Siddharth.
Mataji, so the doctor just stood in a dam, brought people over to a dam just by sound was affected the molecules and did that?
Yes.
Or okay. So
just the sound, no, the sound of prayers.
Yeah, the sound of prayers. Okay.
Because they did not do a rock concert or DJ concert there. It was prayer and everybody was chanting for an hour. Okay. So then they got this result.
So did they do some kind of thing before they started doing the prayers? Because I didn't hear what you said at the beginning.
No, I mean, I don't know exactly what they did, but they must have done something, some Japanese prayers that they continuously kept on chanting over and over again with their mind.
We should try that. We should honestly try that.
Yeah,
See what happens.
Yeah. So Fanithan, you had something to ask? Did I unmute you? You wanted to ask something? You've raised your hand.
Yes, Mataji, I got muted again. So,
okay.
My question is that in the first picture, it's just a water molecule in liquid state. In the second state, it seems to have turned into a snowflake.
No. It was not a snowflake. It was like he had a special microscopic molecular structure camera that could take the picture of a molecule arrangement in the water. So it was just that the molecules were arranged so orderly. It didn't become snow, it didn't become freeze, but the molecules were arranged so orderly. The main thing of this experiment is how the molecules in the water react to the sound. Okay, yeah, Manaswini, you have something to ask?
Yeah, Mataji, I was in the other breakout room. Could you please transfer me?
Okay. Are you there, Mataji? How do I transfer?
Sure, Mataji, I'll do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Parth, do you have a question?
I never raised my hand.
Okay. Your hands were raised, and that's why. So, Shravan, do you have a question?
So yeah, I was reading about this water experiment. So it was saying that the music or the prayers, they rearrange the aesthetic elements of the ice crystals in the water. So they were saying that the water, the gravity inside the water molecule, they arrange them in that structure.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, that's right. You're right. Okay. So let's continue. So what happened after that? So in another experiment, we found that when they said the same prayer in Sanskrit, which is perfectly done, they found that the water molecules were like, it was like they were so closely arranged, and it was like packed, and it was like a perfect geometrical shape. So that this shows that, Sanskrit, as we learned, it's a perfect language, and something, the prayer that's chanted in a perfect language has more orderly effect. Okay. So next experiment was the experiment of Dr. Herbert Benson. So he studied relaxation techniques of both Eastern and Western methods, both Eastern and Western meditative practices. So the type of prayers for him was that it has to have 4 components. That is, there has to be a quiet environment, a comfortable position, a repetition of prayer or chanting, the passive attitude free from thoughts. So when these 4 were there, so what he found out, what is the effect of that in the body is that people are very much, they have BP, they have heart problems, this and that, but the overall metabolism of the body slows down markedly. The heart and the beating rates decrease, and the muscles are not tense, they relax and they stabilize, and the blood pressure falls. So this is a experiment that he did, and he proved it, that how the effect of meditating on the mind had on the body. Okay. Sita Priti Mataji.
Ashude. Ashutosh Sang.
Do you want to ask something, Ashutosh?
Can I ask?
Go ahead, ask. Mataji is saying.
Okay, are those chanting beads in his hand?
Sorry?
Are those chanting beads in his hand?
Yeah. You know what? That if you have seen that in many of your Christian friends, they have chanting beads in the car also. So chanting is a common thing in Christianity. They call it prayer beads. And all
Rosary
the
beads.
nuns,
Yeah.
they have it, rosary beads. Yeah, I have seen many people have it in the car, like how we put near the mirror. They have it hanged there, and they chant. I have seen people chanting also when they are waiting in the parking lot during their grocery or other things. And also in Quran also we have 99 names of Allah. In fact, in the early days when we were chanting and clicker started coming, we used to get the counter only in the import shops from Dubai, because they use the counter for chanting. So that's when we know that it's very common practice there. Okay, so there was another one experiment that was done by Florida State University in 2003. And this experiment was conducted to determine the effects of chanting the MAHAMANTRA, especially the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. A specific mantra on stress, how it reduces the stress. On depression, how it is able to make a person come out of depression. Does it do that? They did an experiment, and they tried it on so many different people, and it was a research paper turned in, and it had very good reviews and response. And also about the 3 gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas, and how it makes one person go to sattva guna or more than that. So they found that it has a potential in addressing problems related to stress and depression. For example, these people who were chanting this, like who were asked to take part in the experiment, who were asked to chant this mantra, they don't know anything about the mantra or what it meant. But they found that when they measured their stress level, and people who are in depression, they were trying different methods. When they found that, they had amazing result, and they are going to consider this as a possible component of a spiritual solution to social work. Social work means we help people, right? Society, there are so many needs of so many people, so we help people, and this was considered as a spiritual component, and it should be taken into account. Okay, so the findings of this research was that there are different zones. So why this chanting was effective? So they found that the mantra meditator is put in an alpha zone or relaxed alert zone. It is neither sleepy nor drowsy, nor active nor hyperactive, but it's a mix of, it's relaxed but still alert. So that is a perfect zone that everyone wants to be in. So that's what they found. And then in this was a recent one that was done in 2016 by Dr. Viveek Baluia, and he said that the brain, he found out the working nature of the brain, the activity in the brain. So you see the red and the green spots in the activity in the brain is always found to be constantly active throughout the day, even during your sleep. Only in very deep sleep, there is no activity in the brain, which is very hard to attain. Many times when we get up from sleep, we have seen that we have not rested enough. We are tired or we are mentally disturbed or something like that. That means the brain had not rested at all. But just for 30 minutes, if a person was chanting this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it showed no brain activity. You see in this picture, there was no red and the green spots like this that was available there before, and that means it is actually able to calm down the brain. So because it is calming down because they connect the brain activity to be in the active state, and when the brain activity is calmed down, it helps controls anxiety and schizophrenia and many other mental diseases. So this is the mantra for this age. We saw that how we are not this body. We have two gross and the subtle body. The subtle body mind is the most important thing that is closely connected to the senses. We cannot handle the intelligence. We cannot deal with intelligence, but we can mold the mind through the senses. So the medicine for this age is that the Mahamantra, the great chanting for deliverance. This can be done in two parts. One is japa or chanting to yourself. You're chanting to yourself. That's why it is calm and it's soft. And then there is Nama Sankirtan, where you're chanting with a group of people, synchronized chanting with the help of musical instruments also. There also the concentration of the mind is on the holy name. Here also the mind is on the holy name. So what happens when we chant this mantra is that the meaning, it's important to hear the names. It's like this, like when there is you're doing a yajna or a havan kunda, you pour the ghee into the fire pit. You don't pour the ghee outside. So it is said that the ghee ladle is the tongue that is giving out the mantra. Until the ear hears the mantra, it is like pouring the ghee outside. So the ear has to hear the mantra, and while hearing the mantra, what is going on in the mind? The meaning of the mantra. What is the meaning of the mantra? Hare means, oh energy of the Lord, and Krishna is, oh Krishna, or all attractive person. Please engage me in your service. So that is what is the meaning of the mantra, and we hear the names, and when we chant, when we chant, what we are doing is we are trying to involve all the senses. So that is why it's more important. Just like we saw in this slide, the first one, how the you see, all these 5 senses have to be controlled for the mind to calm down. So when we chant, what happens to the touch sense? Touch sense is involved in the beats. So tongue or taste, the tongue is involved in chanting the holy names of the Lord. And then hearing, the ears are involved in hearing. So these 3 powerful senses are involved in the mantra meditation. So that's why it is very, very effective. And then 2 other senses, like smell, that's why we offer incense to the Lord. As soon as we go, we start the aarti with incense. Because if there is a bad smell, then, you know, somebody has a digestive problem and then they are farting, then you say, oh, you can't stay there. But then with incense, that's where you welcome. So we welcome the Lord by driving away all the bad things. So we offer flower and incense. So it gives a good smell and engages our nose in that. So when we are chanting in our altar, in front of the altar we are sitting, automatically nose is engaged in the good smell, that is prasadam, that's offered to the Lord. And then sight, so we don't look at the TV or the episode or this or that and chant. We either look at the picture of Krishna and chant, or we can close our eyes and visualize the Mahamantra, or some people, they can look at the Mahamantra and they chant. Somehow or other, the idea is to regulate these 5 senses and come to the mind. Okay, so that's the end of it. And we saw how in the ancient times they had this knowledge very well. They know how to manipulate the sound technology and manipulate the elements of the nature through the sound. And then we saw some latest science experiments by different people showing about the effect of chanting on the holy names, chanting on the body and the mind. Okay, so let's go into playing now. We are going to start our play. Do you have questions? Okay, let me unmute Shreya.
Mataji, I was going to say that when Hanuman and Bhima, they used to shout on the battlefield, it was so strong a sound that 10,000 soldiers died at once.
Exactly. Thank you, Shreya. That's a very, very valid point. Yes, thank you. Anisha?
Mataji, can you please go to the brain experiment slide?
Okay. This one?
Yes.
Is this one? Okay.
Picture, what are the blue dots?
Oh, the blue dots. See, the blue dots are, I'm not exactly sure, but it was mentioned in the thing that it was like they see kind of calmness or no activity, or you know, the thing that shows that they're in their right condition, the waves that are emanating from there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anisha. Okay, so let's start our playing now. Okay, Sai Vedas, you have something? Sai Vedas, did you raise your hand for a question? Oh, okay.
I actually got it answered right now.
Sorry?
I got it answered.
Answer. Okay, okay. Thank you. Advait?
Mataji, how do we play? Because the other Mataji didn't come yet, right?
No, that's okay. This is this is a game for your group, and she's going to play in the other group. And then you have a Kahoot. No, Kahoot will be later, but we introduce this activity also. So since we understood the importance of the holy names of the Lord, this is going to be a memory game of chanting. So what I'll tell the rules, I know many of you must have played this. So for example, if 10 people are participating, the first person says one name of Krishna, and the person 2 have to repeat what the first person has said, and then he should add a name of Krishna. Then the third person has to say what the first person and the second person told, and then he or she should add a name of Krishna. All of them should be unique. It can be the name of Vishnu, it can be the name of incarnations of the Lord, it can be the names of different forms of the Lord, but anything that's connected to Krishna, Vishnu, or incarnations of the Lord. Okay, so for example, if there are 10 participants, the 10th person has to tell the names of all the names that the 9 participants have told before, and then he should add his name. Then we will go to round 2. So we are planning to play 2 rounds in this if time permits. So whoever wants to play in this, please raise your hands. There are 36 participants. Whoever wants to play, please raise your hand. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I see a lot of people raising hands. So we can start now with Parth. Mataji, can we unmute everyone and so they can unmute themselves?
Sure, Mataji. I will put, they can unmute as themselves, Mataji.
Yeah, okay. So Parth, do you want to start?
Yeah, now participants can unmute themselves. You can confirm me.
Someone else could start. I'll go next.
Can I go first,
Okay.
Mataji?
Okay, Advait?
Shama Sundar.
Okay. Next. Next, wait, let me call Fanitan.
Shama Sundar and Raghunandanam.
Okay. Then Parth.
Shama Sundar, Raghunandanan, and let's see, Gopal.
Sorry, Gopal?
Yes.
Okay, good. Anisha. Anisha, want to unmute?
Shyamasundar, Raghunandana, Gopal, and Madhusudan.
Okay. Advait. Advait is already told. Okay. Ashutosh.
I already went, Mataji.
Yeah. Ashutosh. Are you ready, Ashutosh?
Zorat bol, Ashu.
How many people have gone so far?
4 people.
Okay.
So what did the first one say? Shyam Sundar? Ashutosh, I'm not able to hear you.
Honestly, it would be better if you write it down.
No, actually it's a memory game. So you
okay.
basically
Okay, I will do that. Sorry.
Siddharth, Ashutosh, you want to say? Okay, I'll come back to you.
He's unmuted, Mataji. I don't know why he's not talking.
Okay. Maybe let's give him one more chance later. Siddharth?
So Shyamasundar, Raghunandana, Shyamasundar, Raghunandana, Gopal, Madhusudan, and Keshava.
Keshava, okay. Shreya?
Shyamasundar, Raghunandan, Gopal, Madhusudana, Keshav, and Vallabh.
Vallabh, okay. Shriya?
Shyamasundar, Raghunandan, Gopal, Madhusudan, Keshav, Vallabh, and Madhava.
Very good. Okay. Shreyas?
Shyam Sundar, Raghunandanam, Gopal, Madhusudana, Keshava, Vallabha, Madhava, Trivikrama.
Wonderful. Okay, Shravan?
Shyamasundara, Raghunandana, Gopala, Madhusudana, Keshava, Vallabha, Madhava, Trivikrama, and Govinda.
Good job. Okay, Yoshita? Yoshita?
I'm sorry, Mataji. Mine is Murli Manohar.
But the game is you have to say all those who have told before.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Shyamasundar, Raghunandana, Gopal, Madhusudana, Keshava, Vallabha, Madhava, Trivikrama, Govinda, and Murli Manohara.
Wonderful. Okay, then do we have a Parth? You want to play?
Mataji, what's the last one she said?
Murli Manohar.
Okay.
Anybody else wants to add? Do you want to play?
Mataji, I think the people are asking because they're writing it down.
Okay, basically you don't write it down, but yeah, that's why the memory, you keep remembering. So
Hare Krishna,
anybody
Mataji.
else? Uh-huh.
Ashutosh, I think you could not hear Ashutosh. I think he was getting unmuted or something. I don't know, but he could not be heard.
Oh, okay. Can he wants to say now?
I don't know. He must be not remembering any of now because we had to leave the call and then we joined back again.
Oh my God. Okay. So what's the time now? We have.
No. You can continue, Mataji.
Hare
So
Krishna.
we have Anisha. Okay. Now can we go second round or can we do one more new fresh round?
Mataji, choose someone random to say all of them. Choose someone randomly to say all of them.
Okay. No, that you have to. Okay.
So there were 10 of them.
So let's do a fresh round now. So I will start with Ashutosh. So did you understand? First person says only one name. Second person repeats the first person's name and then adds her name. Ashutosh, are you there?
Mataji, probably he can't talk.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Advait.
Mataji.
Uh-huh.
Actually, I'm from another breakout room, and the instructor there, they said it was time for the Kahoot, so everyone left and joined the meeting again, and now I'm like in a different breakout room.
Okay, Mataji, did you come here?
Yes, Mataji, everybody came now. Everybody came.
Everybody came now? Okay. So then can we do the Kahoot?
Yeah, exactly.
Kahoot instead, Mataji.
Okay. So you all like Kahoot?
Yes.
Okay.
So Mataji, you finished playing once?
Yeah, once we finished.
Even we finished just once, but I thought I'll join you all. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go for
Maybe Kahoot is more interesting. Only 10 kids joined in this.
Yeah.
So I will. So can we start Kahoot? Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, but not the
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. So ready for Kahoot?
Yes.
Yes.
So the pin number is.
Hey, wait. We have to see your screen.
I would think for the game, I have another
The
name.
PPT is still visible.
I have another name. I have another name.
Slides.
Okay.
The slides are visible.
Yeah, only the slides.
Are you able to see the screen now?
No, I can see the slides only.
Slides.
Mataji, you have to
Stop
touch new share. There's a new share at the middle.
New share. Yes, now we can. Now it's stopped. The slides have stopped. Yeah.
I have another name for the game.
Now
It's
are you able to see?
Yes.
Okay, the pin number is 8963609. Do you want the music or no?
Yes, but on a low volume. Helps us know like going
The
return of Jesus.
The return of Jesus.
Oh, we need to find out who is this Jesus.
Jesus has to reveal himself to us. He cannot keep a
Welcome
secret.
Jesus, but it's nice.
I'm actually
that name.
I'm actually Adam and Eve. I'm Adam and Eve.
Oops, I sent the wrong one. Okay.
I put.
Who's not Jesus?
Yeah, that's me.
It's me means who?
Then who's Jesus?
Whoever it is, we are chatting the holy name of Jesus, so it's good.
I have
Who's
another
not
name
Jesus?
that we prayed for the Krishna game, but like I forgot. I don't know all the other ones behind, but I know another name. It's Panduranga.
Kamsa? Who put Kamsa?
Kamsa. Why is Kamsa here?
Why did Kamsa come here?
We do not want Kamsa.
Oh my God.
This is Jesus, the battle of the centuries. Who's I am unhuman?
Really?
Mataji, can you tell me the code?
Who's
Who's bruh?
Okay, the code is 8963.
Wait.
Okay.
Okay,
The
now.
code, the pin is 8963609.
Wait, 8963?
609.
I was Jesus.
609. Okay.
Who's Jesus?
I was Jesus.
Wait, what?
We just have 48 players.
Wait,
Where are
who's
the rest of-
Jesus?
No,
Jesus.
we're just
Revealing himself.
I just joined right now.
We just have 48. We need all of you here. We are
My
about
name
60,
is Hari Krishna.
63. Okay. 63 players. Where are the, at
No,
least 60.
you don't do that.
Technically, maybe less because some of them cover the teachers.
Yeah, but we don't have so
I put my name as
teachers.
Hari
There's
Maybe
Krishna.
four
10
teachers.
teachers. There's not 10 teachers. Mataji, maybe some of them. I'm Jesus.
Yeah, probably some people don't want to play Mataji.
Oh, Vinita Mataji, do we have some more people waiting in the break room? They haven't joined us or something. Can you check?
Whoever put Roblox Pro or not.
Or let me check.
Who's unknown? Don't know.
So, not started.
We need 5 more people to
Who's
join.
JV?
Because out of 62 people,
Auntie, can't we start
4 are hosts.
after we start?
Mataji, I think we should start because there's only 61 participants.
Okay.
So should we start?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else trying to log in?
Oh wait, Mataji, I'm gonna log in on another device. It's easier for me. Can you wait?
Okay.
Thank you.
Advait, Siddharth, Shreyas, you have raised your hands.
Where have we raised
That was for like
The game.
game.
Yeah, the
Okay.
game.
Oh, okay.
Mataji,
Okay.
I'm gonna get out from my tablet and get in on my mom's phone.
But you have to be really fast. Only 2 minutes. Exactly 2
Yeah,
minutes. I'm going to
we're
count.
already late.
Yeah. We are super late. Go fast. Run.
Adam and Eve.
Okay, I joined. I just have to put my nickname.
Awesome. Very nice. So shall we start?
Okay.
Yeah,
Shall
you
we
can
start,
start. I
Mataji?
joined.
Yes, Mataji, we'll start.
Okay.
Are
Yes,
you
we are
ready?
ready.
The word man means blank and tra means blank.
You should have listened properly.
I think that's the square.
It's diamond.
Looks like the square.
I'm in 60th place.
Said
Wow.
no and release.
I'm in 60th place.
I'm in 13th place.
Kamsa.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Kamsa
is above Jesus. How is that
followed by
possible?
Shravan, Haripriya and
Kamsa
Chaitanya.
and Jesus are the same because they both have 1,000.
How is Kamsa above Jesus? I don't understand.
Multi-select meditation guided by mantra. It's a multi-select question.
Can you skip it?
It's too tough.
Yes.
Yes. Place. I went from 16th place to 19th. I went from 60th place to 19th.
With all of them, I put
got
3
it
of
wrong,
them. I didn't
but
get
I
them
still
right.
went.
So Jesus
Jesus.
came first.
Oh, it
There we
makes
go.
sense.
Mantras followed by
Bye bye, Kamsa.
Srinidhi, Shravan, and Sachi.
Sachi.
Okay. Dash is a proof of the presence of the soul inside the body.
It's proof.
Breathing.
Mind is inside
The mind. It's either mind or intelligence. I chose intelligence.
No, if you read the full Bhagavad Gita, then you should be able to answer this question of ease.
No,
Yeah,
we
and the
discussed
answer
this.
is square.
Oh. Yeah, we discussed this, right? In the class, we discussed this, that how consciousness is a symptom of the soul, chitta. Okay, so Jesus and Kamsa and Shravan, Dhanya and Sachi, welcome to the scoreboard.
How is Kamsa getting these right?
He's been chanting.
The
Kamsa has been chanting.
The solid body. The solid body cannot be written. Mind, entrance,
I'm not getting tricked by you guys again. I'm putting all of them.
I don't think that's correct.
Yep, I got it wrong.
I got it
Come
wrong.
on. I put
You know what? It's not annihilated with the gross body, and the mind is not present in the brain. If so, then when they studied the brain, they would have seen the mind, right?
Yeah.
A subtle body means, oh, wow. 8585, 8535, Shravan, Dhanya, and Sachi. Good job.
Jesus and Kamsa is so close.
I know, yeah. Okay.
No. I wonder who's gonna win.
Question. Arrange in the order of hierarchy.
Wait, is this a new?
Arrange in the...
What does hierarchy mean?
In the order of control. What controls what?
No, I didn't cover this for them.
Mind is that.
Let's skip it.
One win.
I think this is how it goes.
I don't know. I'm in 70th place, so I really don't
Like that.
You have a lot of time
Honestly.
wrong answer. I think it's.
I totally got this wrong. I so got this wrong.
Go through this.
I think
soul, mind,
I got one
intelligence.
wrong.
it's square, circle, diamond, and triangle.
Wow.
Wait, I thought the soul comes first.
Yeah.
Kidding.
It does come first.
Circle, square.
Oh my god.
Jesus!
Yes, you see? Do you remember the chariot example? The passenger is the soul. The passenger has to tell the charioteer where to go. The charioteer will use the reins, which is the mind. And the reins will help to control the horse sensors.
Mataji, you should have
49%. Good job.
I got it right.
Oh my god, look at the
Mataji
scoreboard.
didn't cover that
It's
question
frozen.
first.
Yeah, you should have told us in order.
Oh, no one got
Welcome,
it right.
Divyansh and Shravan. So let's go to the next question. Meditation on the flame of the candle is as effective as mantra meditation.
This is easy. Don't tell me someone is going to get this wrong.
I like it.
Wait, does that mean very disturbed?
I think it's false. I think it's
false.
Picture.
What's there to think in it? Oh my god, 17.
Ow! Man, that's a lot of people who got it wrong.
No, I don't understand how that's possible.
Haripriya came up,
17
followed by
people.
Shravan, Dhanya, then first is Jesus and Kamsa. Are they both
Jesus
the
and
same
Kamsa?
playing? In two
Head to
devices.
head.
Jesus
and Kamsa are like head to head.
But yeah, I actually think Mataji
I'm
is right.
chanting the
It's the
mantra.
same person in two.
Who's chanting mantra?
One can see a little episode of
What?
One can
I
see
one can see the episodes of Little Krishna.
Yes, that is so true. Circle is the right answer.
Circle is the right answer. Circle is definitely the right answer.
I think.
There are two people who chose. One can see episodes of Little Krishna.
People actually said that.
Yes,
Fire.
Somebody else.
Jesus, Kamsa,
Okay,
Haripriya,
7
and
out of
Navya.
15. We'll do the next one.
Next question. Multi-select. During mantra.
Meditation. What? Enchanting. What is this?
It's square.
It's genius magic.
It's clearly totally not right. How is your eyes engaged?
Triangle.
Circle is just definitely. Probably I'm wrong.
It's
Square is
definitely
definitely
square.
one of the answers.
Oh, there were people who said that.
People eyes.
Really? 10 people chose that?
Radha, I put eyes.
That's why mantra meditation is so effective, because by just doing with the beats, you can engage all these senses, at least the main senses.
Who is that?
Radha, I chose
Again, it's Jesus up, followed by Danya, then Kamsa, Haripriya, and Navya. Good job. Multi-select. Music therapy does not.
Music therapy does not calm the mind.
Mataji, what does agitate mean?
Agitate means put you in a stressful mood.
Calm.
Well, I can't hear you.
Mood.
Put you in a very... Mind is agitated when you're angry, when you're very sad, when you're lamenting. That means mind is agitated, it's not calm. See, you need to see the word not. Music therapy does not agitate the mind, does not immerse a person in the mode of ignorance. That means it is opposite to that. Okay,
Yeah,
you want
but
to see this?
not all song music.
Let's see who's first again.
Jesus.
Jesus. Identify yourself, Jesus.
Who is this?
Danya, Haripriya, and Navya. Okay, so the next
Please identify yourself, Jesus.
multi-select during meditation.
During meditation, God drink.
What does metabolism mean?
General activity of the body.
Awesome.
Huh?
It is, it's
I
not
got it
God.
I
I might get it wrong.
So we saw that it is proved, right? It is proved in an experiment that heart rate decreases, blood pressure falls, muscles are relaxed, and body metabolism decreases.
Decreases.
Oh,
I read
Oh, I thought it said increases. I mean decreases.
I read
People got that wrong because they don't know what metabolism is.
Krishna, Mama, followed by Danya and Shravan.
Krishna versus
Since human body is 70% water, blank is effective in changing the molecular structure.
Science, human body, 70 water effects. No. Like to the sound.
It's square.
I got it wrong.
Wait, it's triangle.
Self-therapy.
39 people have said the right thing is sound therapy.
Who said dog therapy?
Physiotherapy.
Who said dog therapy?
Somebody said physio.
So Jesus followed by Krishna's enemy, Krishna, Shravan, and Dhanya.
Oh my God, it's
Krishna, please pronounce.
Repetitive and attentive chanting of mantra.
It's not about winning.
Chant mantra makes the mind.
It is not intellect.
It's circle. It's circle. It's actually circle.
It's
The
circle.
actual answer is
Obvious.
circle. It actually is circle.
Yeah, it is. Exactly.
Good
It
job.
makes the mind relaxed yet
Okay,
alert.
good thing no one put triangle.
Okay, we saw results, how that mind is. Okay.
Shravan and Anika beat Krishna.
No one said it.
So Jesus comes as Shravan, Anika, and Dhanya. Okay, next question. Jesus, do you want to go to the next question? Only
Jesus.
if you go.
Oh, you just want to know who it is.
Okay. The most effective process in this English study is
The most effective process.
It's obvious. It's triangle.
Physical yoga. Someone get this.
It's the triangle.
Diamond. It's diamond.
It's definitely a circle. It's definitely a circle.
It's triangle.
Yeah, circle.
Definitely
I
circle.
vote for circle. Two of them got it circle.
Square actually makes sense though. You guys should have put a multi-select and put both of those. But it does say most effective.
Oh my God. The scoreboard didn't change. So we have Jesus.
Except Anika got a fire thing.
Yeah, Anika got a fire. Dhanya.
The meaning of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is
It's square.
Oh, I accidentally actually pressed square. Accidentally.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
It's circle. What do you guys mean? It's diamond.
It's square.
I accidentally pressed square. I was trying to press circle. And I pressed square.
Please engage me in your service. Okay, so if that is done, then everything else is done. You're automatically happy. You become materially peaceful. You become a perfect devotee if you are engaged in the service of the Lord.
I've been in one place for like 3 rounds.
Jesus is consistently on top, but I want to know who this Jesus
Yeah,
is.
without knowing that, should we go to the last question or no?
No, we are not going. We are not going without knowing who
Actually,
Jesus
don't
is.
go, don't go. Who's Jesus?
Jesus, identify yourself.
I think it's Advait.
No, I put my own name.
It's Yoshita.
It's not.
I put my own name.
I'm Yoshi. Literally, I'm Yoshi.
Okay, the last question.
The liars always lie to help them not to
Chanting Japa Sankirtam.
Classical chanting, slow chanting, music chanting.
These don't make sense.
This
doesn't make sense.
Why doesn't it make sense? It's so obvious.
It's square.
Come on. Oh, okay, all of you. Most of you got it right.
Stop chanting.
Okay, I want to know who this Jesus is.
Chanting.
Jesus, raise
Sankirtan
your
is
hand.
faster.
Yeah.
Don't go to next until we figure out who Jesus is.
Yes,
Yeah.
Jesus, raise your hand. Raise your hand.
Isn't this the last question?
Advait!
Advait and Divyansh. So many people are raising hands.
I was spamming you guys. I'm not actually Jesus. I put my own name.
Lower your hand if you're not Jesus.
Okay, lower your hand if you're not Jesus.
So 3 people say they are.
It's Divyansh. Yeah, I'm thinking it's Divyansh.
You can imagine just here, we want to identify one Jesus and 3 people come. This is what happens when everybody claims they are God. If you don't God,
Okay, guys, stop.
Dancing energy. The symptom of Kali Yuga. Everyone wants to be God.
Whoever is on your video and talk once.
Just do
on
it.
your video and talk.
There's 2 people.
Who changed their name to Yoshita? By the way, you spelled it wrong.
Okay, so we have Yoshita, Aditya, and Shreya.
No, that's not me. He spelled my name wrong. Well, that person spelled my name wrong. My name is spelled Yoshitha.
Okay, then who's that person? That person is Jesus. So who's that person?
Oh yeah, obviously they want to blame someone else.
Aditya, are you Jesus?
No. Yes.
What is that? No
finally.
and yes.
There's no one now.
Let's see the scoreboard.
We don't need to see the scoreboard. It's
Jesus is gonna be first. Yeah, Jesus. No, Jesus and Kamsa are both hacking for sure. Jesus is hacking for sure.
So
I think they're both the same person.
Kamsa. It's obviously who said Yoshita.
Hey Krishna, who's this? I think Jesus spoke up.
Yeah. How did Jesus win when he had less right answers than Shravan?
Whoever says Jesus does actually
it hurts your stomach.
gonna be kicked out of Bhakti Sangha.
Yeah. What?
Tricky game.
Jesus is going to get a wonderful gift.
Yeah.
Yes, Mataji, that's a good way. He will come out.
Jesus and Kamsa, identify yourselves. Even Kamsa didn't identify.
Please.
If you don't
Shreya's
identify
what?
yourself, we will play the video.
Mom. I got the worst score you can.
Wait, whoever put the fake Yoshita, turn on your video. What, they changed their name on purpose?
Okay, we still didn't find out Jesus and Kamsa.
Jesus 87, Kamsa is 87, Shravan is 93. How come Danya is 93?
They obviously have.
Someone called Jesus Christ in the Zoom thing.
Wait, they hacked obviously. Because then how did they get more questions right?
They probably answered faster.
Maybe just God came and answered the Kahoot.
They probably answered faster.
Jesus
They
and
probably
Kamsa have been
answered faster,
fighting.
yeah.
So God and demon is playing in the group?
Yeah.
Sure, maybe. I don't know. Maybe
Oh,
they
Jesus Christ, come on, tell me your name. And Kushi. Now he's renamed as Jesus.
Oh, there's someone called not Jesus.
Who's not Jesus? We have 3
Jesus,
people to figure out
turn
who
on
they
your
are.
video, Jesus.
If you're not Jesus, turn off your video.
Siddharth!
No,
Wait, I think it's him. He just turned it on.
No,
Who's
it's
Siddharth?
not me.
I didn't say Vidat, I said Siddharth.
Vidarth.
No, it's not me.
It's Siddharth.
Vidarth.
I am actually Jesus. Someone named themselves I am actually Jesus.
I think this is Vidal.
Who named themselves as Jesus Christ? I think the next Kahoot will have 10 Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus
Yes.
versus Kamsa.
Yeah.
I am actually Jesus. Who's that?
Yeah, that is
There's
funny.
2 I am actually Jesus. Yeah, there are 2. Yeah, the original one is me, Yoshita. The other one I think is.
Don't make this more confusing for us. Who's actually Jesus?
Otherwise, announce some other person as a first Mataji.
Someone
Yeah,
named
that's
themselves-
true.
Someone named themselves no. Oh my God. Since we don't have chat, we're just like changing our names.
So Shravan is a winner. Third one is a winner.
Shravan is the winner.
Mataji, did you just put Jesus is me as your name?
Jesus is me.
Okay, guys, thank you all very much for joining. It was a nice session again.
Hey,
with
our
all of-
next session is debate, right? Or is it a game? What is it?
Game.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a game. We'll do. What do you want? Full game session like this?
Full game session.
Yeah. What is the debate
game
gonna be
session.
about?
Please. About random questions.
Yes.
Random questions, okay.
Full game session. Game session.
Random question today.
Oh, we should do
Shreya's
one
comes
about
up.
Ratha Yatra.
How about charades? Charades.
Yeah. No, but it won't be next to each other.
That's too hard.
The charades will be good, right?
It's too hard.
Preeti Vilasni Mataji, why is your name Jesus is me?
The real Jesus is not coming out, so I just took the post.
That means Mataji is the Kahoot master.
No.
If you're not Jesus, we're gonna honor somebody else who says they're Jesus.
Okay, so maybe we'll try charades, right? In Govinda group we tried, right? It came out good.
Yeah, we did it for the Friday fun. So do you guys like charades or no?
No.
Yes.
No.
Pretty fun.
No.
What
Yes,
is it?
I like it.
Okay, maybe we can
it.
make like a Jeopardy or Kahoot or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want Kahoot. Jeopardy!
I don't know how to play Jeopardy.
Yeah,
We should do teams
but we
for
need to go
Kahoot
into
next time.
teams, though.
Yeah, we have to-
Bye!
How about we do Kahoot teams?
We can't. You need the same electronic for the whole team.
Wait, Mataji.
Oh.
Mataji. I have an idea.
Thanks.
What? Shreya is Jesus.
I'm Jesus.
Do I get a gift?
We also did this similar to Kahoot. It's called a game kit. It's like Kahoot, except the questions will display on your screen instead of like the host screen.
You have to pay for it though. I downloaded it.
Yeah, you have to pay for it.
At your own pace, earn money. Like it's like the fast. Who's like whoever earns the most money in 10 minutes. Like money is like points. And then there are also power ups you can use it with. Like,
quizzes.
To help you win and or to hurt your opponents. So yeah.
It's called.
Say that again.
I think Kahoot is better.
Yeah.
I want to try Gimkit because you know you can use other stuff.
We should do play quizzes.
We should do quizzes.
Yeah.
I like Kahoot.
Oh yeah, quizzes is fun.
Quiz.
Wait, Mataji, it says I got first place.
Who's that?
Advait.
You got first place?
Then you are Jesus.
He's Jesus!
Name is Advait, look.
Jesus. Why have you not told us your identity so far? Why?
It's because I put my name as Advait. Random, because it said before I got 22nd place. Now randomly it's saying I got first place.
Show us your video.
Okay.
I am.
And you're Jesus. You found that you Jesus.
I put my name as Advait. You can go back in the Kahoot and see my name.
And who is Jesus?
I put Hare Krishna, but then I got on my mom's phone. That time I put Advait.
And
Stop,
who is
I am actually Jesus. Okay.
It's okay. Stop. I'm actually Jesus.
Yeah.
See, it's saying I'm first place for some reason.
Hi, Big Cow.
But then it says 0.0 correct answers and 0 incorrect.
Oh.
So it was probably a glitch.
Okay, you know what? So we're going to meet again next. So who's that? Stop. Actually, I'm Jesus. Tell your name.
Show your video at least.
Mataji, when is the next meeting?
Thursday.
Monday.
Okay.
Oh, Thursday.
Thursday we're going to meet, and then we're going to meet again on the next Monday. We have a guest presentation, and that's going to be on Darwin's theory, Mataji. What is it on?
No,
Wait,
she
when
had
is
some
the
interesting
game
presentation about some dates and connecting Vedic cosmology and the present scientific finding, because he's a research scholar himself. So he has done a lot of research, and yeah, it's going to be an interesting session.
Yay.
Okay.
Okay, Hare
So we'll
Krishna,
meet again on
Mataji.
Thursday, Jesus and Kamsa and everyone else. No, the
Mataji, Hare
participants.
Krishna.
What about
Thank you,
not
dear.
Jesus?
Yeah, all the
actual
non-Jesuses.
Naya.
Jesus Christ.
There is somebody named not Jesus.
Yeah.
Not Jesus. No one can be Jesus. Yeah, that's a good point.
Jesus is the only one who can beat Jesus.
Good point.
Okay. Yeah, so maybe we can end the call, Mataji.
Yes, we'll meet again on Thursday. We'll do something nice on Thursday. Okay.
Okay.
I'll go.
Bye.